The Zone is the home of boxing, with over 150 live fights a year.
It's over! There's no way back from this, surely!
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
How do you like it? How do you like it?
That is unbelievable.
These guys will be legends in their own country, but also in the international basketball world forever.
That is what sport means. That is what the EuroLeague trophy means.
Are you not entertained?
I'm not supposed to be cheering, but this is X Series. I can do whatever I want.
Everything is difficult in this life, so still you need to be on it.
It all comes down to tonight. Don't miss the biggest night in MMA. PFL is more than a fight.
Catching up on any NFL game is easier than ever before.
Looking to the end zone for the win!
Oh my gosh, one of the great games you'll ever see.
The competition is back, and the UEFA Women's Champions League looks set to be bigger and better than ever before.
It's their time. A night to remember.
Fight Night on Dazn, brought to you by That Prize Guy.
It's never a coincidence. Excellence demands commitment and the drive to refine every detail. On and off the court.
Fight Night on Dazn, brought to you by That Prize Guy. The following program is recommended for those 16 and over, as it contains sporting violence, possible bad language, and flashing imagery.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you live on the Zone X Series. Let's see some thunder! Here we go. A clean shot, and it could be lights out. Oh, it's the real deal. Hey, he looks like a pro boxer. 1, 2, 3, light him up. Your winner and the new champion.
And here we are at Pride Park ahead of X Series 21, the return of Darren Till versus the dentist Darren Stewart, and the eagerly anticipated fight between Misfits boxing champion Idris Virgo and a man who's made a record name on the scene in Ty Mitchell. All to be seen shortly at the press conference live here from Pride Park in Derby.
X Series on the zone, where superstars meet. It's not going to be your usual show, and the chaos unfolds.
Are you not entertained?
Nights like no other, where anything and everything happens.
Are you kidding me?
Where dreams are built in a heartbeat and shattered in seconds. Defying expectations, where underdogs conquer.
That changes everything!
And champions are crowned.
Am I now the queen of Misfits?
The zone is the home of crossover boxing.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we are in Derby at the Pride Park Stadium, which is absolutely packed. Here with Riley, absolute legend. Lovely seeing you again. We have got Darren Till versus the dentist, Darren Stewart. Ty Mitchell against Idris Virgo for that Misfits title. Throwing a bit of Survivor tag and a bit of everything else that Misfits has on offer. We have got a banger here Friday night in Derby, right?
Start to finish, just absolute bangers the entire way. Heavyweight championship, up-and-comers, new faces, tag teams. As you said, this is from start to finish absolute fireworks. I can't wait for it.
Well, Darren Till is back, Riley. We saw him last time out, decimating performance, and he had that little bit of headache going into the fight. Obviously, it was initially meant to be Tommy Fury. They made ends meet. It was your man, Anthony Taylor. He looked fantastic. What did you make of it, and what can we expect to see from Darren on Friday?
Frankly, it was an absolutely phenomenal fight, but you can see one of the tails of the tape here was the fact that Darren Till had a huge size advantage, big experience advantage, was able to use his power, use his size, and hurt a guy in Anthony Taylor who, frankly, we'd never really seen him hurt the way Darren Till was able to hurt him. I think that this is going to be a different fight because can he bring that same power up to a bigger weight class against Darren Stewart?
Been looking a little bit at Mams Taylor's interviews in the build-up to this fight week, and he's saying he sees Darren Till as a future star of the sport. I think anyone would when they're building up a fighter in Misfits like Darren Till. He comes in, he looks the part, he can certainly talk the part, and he can fight the part. Is this home turf for Darren Till now? Is Misfits his home?
Yeah, it better be his home because it's where he should be. I mean, you said he's a future star. I think he's a current star. I think that he's already established himself, but can he really build that name in boxing? And frankly, for me, there's no other place that he could be other than right here in Misfits Boxing to establish himself.
Well, Friday night, they will see just that. Let's talk a little bit about his opponent, however, the dentist, Darren Stewart. What do you know about him, and what can fans expect to see? What sort of fight is he going to bring Darren Till come Friday?
Darren Stewart is an absolute veteran. I mean, we're talking about 14 UFC fights, some losses, multiple strings of victory, kind of ended his career in the UFC with a string of losses, but then went back to the regional scene and picked up a 4-fight win streak before, of course, having a final loss and then decided to retire. However, ring, gets that phone call and he said, I'm back, decides to make the transition over to boxing and against, obviously, a humongous name. So this is a very experienced, much bigger fighter than Anthony Taylor, and also a guy that has been there and done that in the big scene, the bright lights of fighting.
It's funny you say that. He's almost put his MMA career to one side now, as has Darren Till. But also there is that dangling sort of egg of opportunity as well, that if he gets a win here on Friday night, does this not become his home? There's a storyline there in itself. He's got new opportunities that will be presented to him. Mams is very big on you go in and you put a good performance, this will be your home. It's all there for him, right?
Absolutely, and I thought you were alluding to them just being able to start throwing kicks, but we're not going to do that. However, if he's able to get a win, I mean, it opens up as many doors as possible. We're talking about Darren Till here. We're talking about one of the biggest stars in fighting. You're able to get a win against a guy like that, your whole life has changed. Everything is different. And in a new sport, in the sport of boxing, in a great platform in Misfits, the pressure is on him for sure. This is such a big opportunity. Can he deliver?
Can he deliver? We will find out on Friday. Let's talk about something else. It's a Midlands derby. I don't know if you know what that means. Idris Virgo is from just south of here in Birmingham, but this is Ty Mitchell's hometown. It is absolutely packed here. They take on each other. It's for that Misfits title. We've seen enough of the build-up. This one's been brewing for a hot minute now. I can't wait. We've got a proper bit of boxing pedigree in this one. Idris Virgo's been, I want to say rattling Ty, but getting a little bit rattled in the process. Talk us through this one. Fight fans cannot blink when this one comes on.
Absolutely, and Ty Mitchell really established himself early in the Misfits scene. Electric performance in his debut, but let's call a spade a spade. He was a big favorite in that fight. This is a much closer fight, 50-50, and as you can see here, just using his range, using his skill, using his speed, is he going to be able to deliver this kind of performance against a much more established fighter in Idris Virgo? That is the question that has to be answered.
Well, just quickly on Idris, I remember seeing him fighting near here, actually, at the Coventry Ice Rink. We saw him make his way as a professional, and he thought, no, I want to give Misfits a crack. This man can fight, and Ty has to be laser switched on here, right? Because Idris will be coming throwing early doors. He is the body breaker, after all.
Absolutely, and he can't just fight. He can fight more than one time in one night. I mean, we saw him win the Misfits tournament where he fought Fez Batista early, and then he went on and fought Benson Henderson. He was able to get a win in both of those fights. He established that he can fight multiple times in one night, showing his cardio, showing his durability. He's had phenomenal performances. He's had multiple performances here in Misfits and has really established himself. But I think, to me, this is just how good is he as a pro boxer, right? Really challenging another high-level guy, another established professional-level boxer, and it's going to be about which one of those two can really, really make a name for themselves and make that establishment.
Important to note as well, when we talk a little bit about pedigree, Idris has been sparring with Ty has been sparring with Tyson Fury for a long, long time. So that man really can fight. Everyone is seated behind me here at the press conference. I cannot wait. It will be electric. We'll throw it back to Ben now, who's going to take over.
Fight fans, the monumental return of Misfits is finally here. X Series 21 in Derby, live on the home of boxing Dazn. Titles are on the line, fan favorites are back, and it all is headlined by UFC veterans Darren Till and Darren Stewart. I can't wait to speak with the athletes, but first let's take it to the architect of Friday evening, Mams Taylor to my right. Mams, what an excellent card we have for X Series 21.
Yeah, we've had a bit of a layoff, so we had to come back with a bang, and what a bang it is. We got Darren Till, the Gorilla, back-to-back main events for the first time in Misfits history, but he's got a very, very tough opponent in Darren Stewart, the dentist. You know, every single fight on this card, we got our pros. We got Amir Anderson, Dylan Price, we got Modine and Wakey Wines, probably the most technical fight of the evening. It's going to be a banger, one after another. So lots of fight of the night contenders here.
I love it. Well, let's take it to the fighters. Our first bout of the night, the undefeated Dylan Price sees his 20th straight victory inches away from him, but an aggressive Argentinian in Kerry Mancia believes he's a problem that Price can't solve. Dylan, welcome to Misfits, heavily accoladed, most recently winning the WBC Silver Super Bantamweight title. Why is Misfits the right place for you?
First off, I want to thank my Heavenly Father, Yahuwah. I want to thank my dad, my brother, my coach Wade, my cut man Danny Davis, my advisor Sal, my promoter Mams Taylor. Misfits is, I feel like, a great fit for me. They take great care of me, and Friday night I'm gonna show how great I am for sure. Excuse me for the lack of energy due to my weight cut, but I'll be back Friday.
What are you expecting from your opponent on Friday, Dylan?
I mean, he's just tough, rugged, but it's my job to go out there and distance myself from round one. So that's what I'm looking to do.
I love it. Kari's not here, but we'll hear from him at the weigh-ins tomorrow. Our second bout of the night, the 10-time national amateur titleist, now 2-0 pro Amir Cashman Anderson is back against 20-fight veteran Ernesto Olveira. Amir, it has been back-to-back bulldozing performances from you. What are you looking to show on Friday night?
Friday night, same thing, bulldozing through Ernesto. As y'all can see, I'm stepping it up every fight and trying to give y'all a show. I'm just ready. You know, 6 months, I've been waiting, I've been hungry, and I'm ready to take out Ernesto and step on him and keep going.
Ernesto, he has been dominating people. What do you make of Amir Anderson's performances?
¿Quién es él? ¿Quién es Amir? Lo único importante es que yo vine a ganar.
He said, it's wrong, yeah. He said, who is he? Who's Amir? The only thing that matters is I'm going to win.
Fair enough. Amir, your reaction to that?
He's going to see. Friday night, I ain't got to say too much. 3-time national champion, Tusabe. He's going to know who I am on Friday night, and I'm gonna step on him for sure.
Ernesto, most people would look at the last 6 years of your career and potentially write you off. Why are you the one to snap a mere streak?
Tú sabes.
Peleando al estilo mexicano. No vine de otro continente nada más a cobrar. Yo vine aquí a ganar. Viva México, cabrones.
Basura.
He'll win by fighting the Mexican style. He hasn't come here to Derby to get a paycheck. He'll come here to win.
That's not what he really said.
He said he's going to put belt to ass, bro. He said he's coming here and he's going to knock that smug off your face.
Basura.
Viva México, cabrones.
Yes, you believe that? You know that.
He called you an asshole. He said he's done for.
Basura. Tu basura.
He said you were a fly on the wall.
Again, Friday night. Listen, Friday night is going to be the Cashman show. I'm not even going to say too much, but I'm a 10-time national champion for a reason, and he's just a stepping stone. Again, he's 13-8. I'm only have 3 fights, so he should take it, and he should take it seriously. I'm not. I'm going in there to beat the living shit out of him and move on from this. So I'm ready though.
I love it.
He said it's not a show, it's a public execution. Your ass is grass.
Yeah, right. You don't even believe that yourself, Chase.
Hey, man, I'm just translating.
Chase, champ and a translator. I love it. Our third bout of the night, fan favorite. Joey Knight looks to bounce back from his first career setback. He is opposite a 5-time kickboxing champion in the Punisher, Andrew Housen. Joey, losing for the first time in your career, last time out against Lil Craig. Describe the changes you've made to ensure that you get your hand raised on Friday night.
What's happening? Good to be back. Big shout out to Mams for getting me back on a massive card, to be fair. Biggest non-pay-per-view card I can ever remember Misfits doing, so I'm blessed to be here. I ain't really had to change that much. Like, let's be honest, I think last time out I showed that I was at that level in terms of competing with the man that's now champion in the lightweight division. So I don't really think it was on me to make that many changes and show that much more. I came to fight last time. I come to fight this time. Got a lot of respect for my opponent. As you say, you just listed out his achievements there. So, yeah, it's good, man. He's going to be a contender for fight of the night, I'm sure.
Andrew, 5-time world champion. How does your kickboxing pedigree play into this boxing match?
Bring experience. I've been in there with nearly 100 people. I've had 96 Muay Thai fights. I've been hit with elbows, knees, everything there is to possibly be hit with. This is just boxing. I've had to make a lot of changes, don't get me wrong. I need to learn how to move my head and things like that. But it's ring time. Ring time's going to be the one that gives me the advantage in this fight, 100%.
Joey, you've mentioned in the lead-up that there are people underestimating you and a lot of trash talk in your DMs. Does that add another layer to this and motivate you to further put on a show?
100%, man. Proving people wrong is probably my main priority here, if I'm being completely honest. Like you say, I'm not used to losing. I had 10 fights outside of Misfits. I won all 10 of them, competed with some sort of good top-level amateurs and stuff like that. So I know where I belong and where I should be in this scene, and this is just about proving that. And I've got the perfect opponent in front of me who, listen, if I'm not what I think I am, then Andy will expose that. Do you know what I mean? So it's a risky fight, but that's what makes us horny, doesn't it?
Andy, what would a win over Joey Knight in your boxing debut mean to you?
I've said this many times, but for me, I think Joey's probably one of the best in the division. When Mams offered me the fight, I said straight away, that's not a warm-up fight that you're offering me. That's a tough fight. I think a win over Joey just puts me straight up there. Obviously, he had a really close fight with Cray. I think if it had been another round or two, he'd have got the win. So, yeah, a win over Joey puts me up there with the top boys, and you never know what can happen next.
I love it. Our next fight of the night showcases over 1,000 pounds in the ring. It's the Heavyweight Survivor Tag Tournament to determine the #1 contender. A former champion in Tempo Arts returns, those seeking redemption in Big Tobes and Dazn, and a wild card in the debuting Curtis Pritchard. A lot of questions, but only one answer and one winner. Let's start with the debuting dancer and Love Islander, Curtis Pritchard. Curtis, this was a childhood dream turned reality. What's the emotion like ahead of your boxing debut?
Yeah, it's good to be fair, mate. First of all, thank you for allowing me to box on the card and everything. It's good to be here. I've always wanted to get into boxing, and now to have the opportunity to go up against some potentially good fighters. We'll see what it's like on the night on Friday and stuff. But and to have the chance of, if I walk out of this only training for 7 weeks to win it, to then go up for a title belt as well is, yeah, it's pretty sick to be fair.
Do you feel like you're at a disadvantage given your opponent's experience?
Swings and roundabouts, to be fair, mate, because, yeah, I'm going to say I probably am at a disadvantage on the fact that they've been training for many years. They've done a lot more fights than me. This is my first one, my first introduction to it, and I've only done 7 weeks. Was going to take it with only 4 weeks, and the card got extended, which was handy for me, to be fair. But you know what? Throw yourself into it. If you enjoy doing something, you can be good at it, and let's see what happens on Friday night. I think it's going to be a good one.
Who do you think is going to be the biggest threat on Friday?
Well,
yeah, you for sure losing.
Yeah, I'm going to say me, to be fair, mate. Thank you. Whoever shouted that out in the audience, I'll take it. But now, to be fair, you know, Tempo Arts, he's got some good power on his punches. I've seen him.
You're for sure losing. Next person.
What'd you say?
You for sure losing. That's what he said.
We'll see what happens on Friday, won't we?
We know what's going to happen.
Big Tobes has been dropped by Kells and someone else.
Kells will beat you up.
Has got some good power and stuff. Then Godson got no idea what's
already making excuses.
Like,
I swear to God.
You're for sure.
How you already making excuses, bro?
Let's hear from the returning Dazn. Dazn, last time we saw you was 2023. It was a tough night against Tempo Arts. What's motivated you to return now 2 years later?
First of all, I'm going to say thank you to Mams for getting me back on the card. I think my return came from my first fight, obviously against Tempo Arts, where I dislocated my shoulder in the first round. And I just wanted to prove, I don't feel like I gave it my all and like showed everyone what I can do in the ring, so I'm excited to return, and yeah, can't wait for Friday.
You walked out with 10 rappers and lost.
Listen, Chase, you are a piece of shit.
10 rappers.
Shut up.
You walked out with 10 rappers and lost.
For real, Chase.
You lost.
You can't fight.
You lost.
You can't fight.
Buddy, we watched you embarrass yourself in front of millions. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Pay attention. Pay attention. You're the first one out of that.
Chase.
Tobes is winning it. Get out of here. Shut up.
Listen, I don't want to engage myself into nonsense because Chase is a piece of shit.
Yeah, you'll be dead and done over with by the end of the week.
100% Chase. Me and you,
Hustle out.
we wouldn't last 2 rounds.
Buddy, you can't even spell last. Buddy, the longest you lasted is 30 seconds. I asked your girlfriend.
Dazn, one more for you. Who do you think is the weakest opponent Friday night?
My weakest opponent?
Mm-hmm.
I think Curtis.
Bring it on, baby. Bring it on.
Let's go.
I love it. A man we saw most recently, Big Tobes, is back for more. Big Tobes, you came up short against Kells, but had a ton of success knocking him down earlier in the fight. What was your takeaway from your debut?
You know, first of all, thank God for giving me the strength to be here. I want to big up my sponsors, Forever Watches, Curve Capital, Forever Watches, SBS, and also Velo Wave. I want to big up my trainer, Team JW Training. Big up Luke Groves, he's not here. That's my head coach. Yeah, my first debut on Misfits, I mean, you saw the fight. I dropped him in the first round. I wasn't fatigued. I didn't camp for that fight. I got to hold myself accountable. I don't think I wanted it as much as he wanted it. And I've taken that loss, and now I'm a different animal. So I'm excited to get in there on Friday and beat these boys up, innit?
Which opponent do you think you match up best with?
I've not really seen, obviously Tempo was the most experienced. He was the champ, innit? Obviously Chase beat him, but I don't know why they gave him a W. But he's probably the most experienced, so I'll say
Chase is
Tempo.
trash. I don't even know how we beat Tempo.
Dazn,
Chase,
again.
Chase, please, Chase.
Dazn, you've done it in 30 seconds,
you
buddy.
are so
You
trash.
are blessed to be on this card.
Yo, let's just have Godson and Chase, man.
No, for real, because he's trash.
Let's just have that fight for them, man.
Dazn, I could wake up with a hangover and fight you.
I bet you 10,000.
But you couldn't fight sleep. Shut the hell up.
Your fake-ass chain, please.
It should say Chase son, not Godson.
Shut up, mate.
Let's take it to the former champion, Tempo Arts, who's making the long-awaited return. Tempo, what's motivated you to get back into boxing?
Is the mic working? Mic working. There you go. What motivated me to get back into boxing? I quit, and 1 week after, literally 1 week, I found out that I'm having a baby girl. So I think it's meant to be that I come back and show what I can do. And now I have a purpose. I was beating all these guys without any purpose in boxing, and now I have a purpose to go out and win. And I was only 18 years old when I stepped in the ring, beat Godson, and now I'm 21. So we'll see the difference.
Who's going to be the hardest challenge for you on Friday night?
None of them. I'm going to beat all of them. That's what I'm going to do.
An old foe of yours, Chase Demore, is on this card, but now he's the champion. If both of you win, that is likely the next fight. How will the rematch look?
He's going to retire again, man. He's going to retire. That's what he's going to do.
Bullshit.
He knows damn well.
Bro.
He knows goddamn well he got offered 5 times to fight me. The fucker retired, came back, found out I wasn't his mandatory, and decided to fight a bunch of bums.
Okay. You're acting like I didn't beat you,
Tobes is going to beat you up, and it's going to be dead and over with.
Chase,
and DNA, check your child, too. He might be
yesterday.
mine.
You started boxing
I knew
yesterday.
that one was going to come. I knew that one was going to come. But no, mate, I'll beat you again. That's literally my belt
I beat the hell out of you for 5 rounds. You got the
You didn't do
PBA
nothing,
fired.
bro.
You got them
nothing.
fired and then retired. You're a fraud. You're a coward.
Okay, buddy.
Coward.
Anyway, that belt up there is mine. So
this is my belt.
I never lost it.
Come take it then. Come take it.
I never lost it. You can keep it for now. I'll take it next time we fight. Mate. Fuck you.
I'll take that belt again, don't worry.
It's not a Misfits press conference without Chase Demore flipping a table. While they get that set, let's take it to our 5th fight of the night. Britain's Got Talent winner taking on a former Love Island star in a catchweight bout. Jordan Bancho and Will Anderson both debuting, but only one can be victorious. Jordan, he says that you're in for a shock. You're too slow and you won't be able to land on him. I'm curious, what are you expecting from him Friday night?
Brother, I don't know how you expect me to answer with all this madness going on. I'm enjoying the show right now, bro. Hang on, wait a sec. Setting the tables up.
I didn't see you over there. I thought you were away from the chaos.
Sorry,
My bad on that.
Hang on, give it a second. We're getting there, bro.
Through a fucking ball, mate. I don't know.
Bro.
All right, Jordan. Same question.
We're back. Sorry, one more time, bro. Repeat the question. What'd you say?
No worries. He says you're too slow and that you're in for a shock. I'm curious, what are you expecting from him Friday?
I don't know how we would know I'm too slow or in for a shock. I'm expecting Will to have trained hard. I'm expecting a tough fight. Hopefully it's exciting as this press conference. It should be good.
Fair enough. Will, you said that there's spies in his camp and someone is leaking sparring footage. What's your breakdown on the film that you've seen?
It's not too great, to be honest. It's given me a lot of confidence that I'm going to go in there and do the job. I think if it's not the first round, it'll be the second.
Jordan, I'm curious, what is your reaction to sparring footage being leaked?
He's talking rubbish. But besides, I mean this. It's not arrogance. You can call it confidence. Call it what you want. Will could come down to the gym, sit with my coach, and listen to the instructions he's given me, and he'll still lose on Friday. It's not an insult. It's just a fact. He's not good enough. He's not good enough.
Chance.
Will, I'm curious, 4 weeks notice for this. You're training at Churchill's boxing gym. What do you think is your strongest attribute coming into Friday?
I think definitely my power. I think I've packed a lot of power. Everyone that I've sparred said the same. You know, I only started boxing 6 months ago, and I've been knocking pros out in sparring, so I know for a fact that I can hit hard, and he's going to know about it.
Bro, what about everyone who's dropped you in sparring?
No one has, to be honest.
Don't lie.
Swear
Don't lie. Even your
down.
coach knows. Don't lie.
No,
What, everyone who's dropped you, brother?
Nah.
Come on. Be honest.
No,
Be honest. Be honest.
I took a few rib shots, but...
No, be honest. Come on. Say it with your chest, brother. Own it.
Chat shit, mate.
All right.
Well, we'll see who wins
Mate,
in that
you're
one.
making it 10 times easier
Good
for
luck.
us to knock you the fuck out on Friday night.
Good luck.
Trust me.
You do get dropped by cruiserweights, big man.
I tell you what, once I knock Jordan out, I'll knock you out as well.
You won't do nothing, brother.
Sausage,
you won't do
man.
nothing. You won't do nothing.
Heating up between two debutants.
Sausage.
Let's take it to our 6th fight of the night, a fight that really speaks to the core of influencer boxing. Some are calling it the people's main event. Renowned convenience store owner Wakey Wines makes the walk for the first time against the returning Modine in what is my early prediction for fight of the night. Wakey Wines, you challenged Modine in January. Now the fight happens on Friday. Where did this beef begin?
First of all, I'd like to say Alhamdulillah, thank you to the Almighty for giving me this opportunity. Thank you to mums and everybody in my team. It happened during the Prime situation when I was selling the Prime. He's been swearing at me, saying he's going to come to my shop, burn my shop down, and I'm just going to get it on in it this Friday. I'm going to put it to bed.
Love it. Modine, what makes Wakey Wines the perfect opponent for your return?
Basically, I want to say alhamdulillah as well for fighting this champion of beef burgers, and hopefully I'll dislocate his whole brain and body and everything. And yeah, and I hope that, like, obviously, I take revenge for all the kids that he scammed, innit? Yeah, this guy called me out. Like, why are you calling me out for, you dusty you, bruv?
Bang. Shut up, you sausage. What? You sausage. Sit down, you sausage.
Fucking dinosaur, bruv. Dino the dinosaur. Dusty you, bruv.
Might not be the most technical fight, but certainly could be the most fun between those two. Let's take it to the 7th fight of the night. Back in the lightweight division, a veteran of the scene looks to bounce back against the surging 2024 Rookie of the Year. Can Waleed Sharks reassert himself in the title picture, or will the torch firmly be passed to the youngster Fox the G? Waleed, we haven't seen you since the Prime card. What makes this kid the perfect comeback fight for you?
Because he's the Rookie of the Year and he thinks he's the best in the lightweight division. And he fought 2 bums. He knocked out 2 bums that are on a losing streak and a knockout streak. So he's the one who's going to get knocked out next.
Fox, this is the biggest name of your career. The fight's been rescheduled several times.
He's not the biggest name of my career. That's not true. I fought Dean before, though.
This is the biggest name in his career.
Yeah, in his career, hell yeah.
There's no way you're that stupid. Did you actually just say that? Fucking idiot.
Fox, what does this moment mean to you?
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, like you said. He's given me a lot of time to get 2 steps, 3 steps, 5, 8 steps ahead of him. And at no time has he ever been anywhere except for exactly where I want him to be. And right now, he thinks he's catching up to me, and now I'm behind him, and I'm going to hunt him down, and he's going to feel what it feels like to be unconscious on Saturday night. Friday night, actually.
We're going to see about that May 16, buddy.
Okay.
You're not going to do shit.
Good comeback.
Waleed,
you big hairy bastard.
Waleed, you vocalize that you're stronger, faster, better all around. Are you expecting any challenges from Fox the G on Friday?
Absolutely not. I'm not scared from a white boy with a do-rag, bro.
Perfect. Perfect.
Fox, he's dismissed you at every single chance he gets. Does that add any motivation to make a statement on Friday?
Nope. I'm just going to beat his ass. Same old.
All right, white boy.
What?
I said, all right, white boy.
Okay, that's cool. You can get knocked out by a skinny white boy with a do-rag and pimples. How's that feel? And after this, I still remember what you said. You said you bow down to me after I beat you. I want it. The second that they wake you up, smelling salt, I want you bowing down to my feet like the little bitch you are, like you was to Dean.
We'll see about that.
We're going to see about that. We saw about it before. I win. You lose. Same story.
I love it. Can't wait for that one on Friday. Let's take it to the 8th fight of the night. The heavyweight champion attempting to defend his throne for the very first time, but a Nordic warrior stands between him and the start of his reign. Misfits staple Chase D'Amour takes on the Viking Tank Tolman. Chase, now you're the champion. Talk to me about wearing this belt and what that means to you.
Well, the belt is rightfully where it should be, as we can all tell. There's a lot of ducks in this room, a lot of people fighting for a shot at me. But listen, big respect to Tanner Tolman over there. He's a nice guy, but I got to knock him out come Friday. That's what it is.
Tank Tolman, you have a pretty good mixed martial arts record, but the fighting days were many years ago. Talk to me about what advantages you have coming into this.
I'm the old guy. I've been around a long time. I've been training a long time. Just haven't been on the forefront of my content. So, yeah, I'm at the gym every week for the past 13 years. So that experience is going to come to play come fight night. He's going to feel these hammers, and he won't know what hit him.
Chase, Chase, you have a fight scheduled next week. I'm anticipating you don't think anything's going to be difficult on Friday?
Yeah, I got another fight already in the books. We're looking way past this. If those of you guys that don't know what's going on over here, if you guys don't know what a Sharingan is, this guy's in trouble. He might come from Skyrim, but I come from a land that's much scarier. Listen, every warrior dies in
California?
What?
California, is that scary?
It's a lot more scary than Calgary to Canada. Shit, man. You guys bump into somebody and apologize.
We're the reason the Geneva Convention
Buddy, we're
exists,
taking you over. Ask Trump. He's already on that. It'll be a short visit.
Tank, he says that the only way you win this fight is a freak injury, a stroke of God. Do you feel disrespected by how dismissive the champion is?
Well, of course, he almost just took himself out 5 minutes ago out of the fight, and security almost took him out, so I'm not worried.
It was like 7 security guards, buddy. Listen, I could fight Dazn, I could fight you, I could fight Frank, all in a 3v1, and walk out of there by lunchtime. Easy work.
Chase, what do those eyes tell you is going to happen on Friday night?
He's in trouble. I see everything coming. I can anticipate his attacks before he even knows what he's going to throw. Those hammers, or whatever he's referring to, buddy, I ain't never been a nail in my life.
You don't even believe what you're saying. There's no conviction in what you're saying.
Shut up before I slap the hell out of you.
You couldn't see a bug coming on, landed on your face for 5 seconds before you can swat it off.
And you'll apologize to me, bitch. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. You'll be done and over
Cannot
with.
wait for Chase D'Amour's title fight on Friday night. Let's take it to the co-main event after battling through the Stake Pro Tournament in Newcastle to capture the Pro Light Heavyweight Championship. Idris Virgo takes on the highly touted challenger in Derby-born Ty Mitchell. Unbeaten champion versus the hometown hero. Idris, there was a lot of talk about the timing of this fight. You've said that Ty is a waste of your time. Do you think he's not worthy for this championship opportunity?
First off, your fans they were so slow. Go on, be louder for Ty then. Be louder, be louder, be louder, be louder. Oi, oi, oi. Are you meant to be in school? Are you meant to be in school? Nah, not meant to be in nursery. Nah, you're not meant to be here, man. Relax, man. Relax, man. Relax, 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 good. Relax, relax. Go on, what was this question?
Is Ty worthy of fighting for your belt?
Ty's not worthy at all to fight for this belt, you know what I mean? Like, he shouldn't really be on this stage and he shouldn't be fighting me. Ty already knows what he's done in the past. I could get into that, but I don't know if I want to. But, yeah, man, it's not worthy to fight me for my belt.
Fair. Ty, in what areas do you think that you'll be able to take over this matchup?
First of all, I want to say alhamdulillah, thank Allah first and foremost for putting me in this position. I want to thank Misfits for giving me this opportunity and bringing Misfits to Derby. Get up, everyone from Derby. Yeah!
Bit louder. That was wank.
Yeah, anyway. Wow. Anyway, what was the question, sorry?
What areas do you think you can exploit of Idris Virgo?
Listen, Idris is... see me, I'm real. He just talks for the sake of talking. He doesn't believe in what he says. Even he don't believe it.
Up, man.
If you believe... Listen.
Shut up, man.
Money talks, bullshit walks. Put your purse up, or winner takes all. You won't do it, so you don't believe it.
Ty.
Let me finish anyway. I'm not finished. I'm not finished. You can have your time in a minute. I'm not finished.
No, don't answer the question.
You can ask a question. I'm not finished.
I've got a question for you, innit?
You can no worries, bro.
No one answer the question.
You can ask a question. Let me finish what I'm saying first. You can ask a
No, I
question.
want to answer a question.
He said a lot of things about my past.
Ty, can I ask you a question?
No.
Ty,
Anyway,
can I ask you a question?
He's
What?
saying a lot of things about this and
Whoa,
that.
whoa. Can I ask you a question?
No.
Let me ask you a question,
No.
then I'll shut up.
No.
Let me ask you a question, then.
Go on.
How does it feel? How does it feel to be a murderer?
Yeah, listen, that's good. I'm glad you said this. Go ahead, let him talk. I'm glad, because he said a lot of stuff about
Apologies for that one. Ty, last question for you.
How does it feel?
Hometown hero in Derby.
How does it feel to take someone's life?
I want to address this.
Especially when your hands were licensed. Your hands are licensed as a professional boxer, and you went out there and you took someone's life, and you went back to there twice.
All right.
Whoa! So it's all right.
Leave it, guys.
So it's all right to do it.
Let's move it on to our main event. All of the action.
I want to address this.
Push the boxer, yeah.
Right, listen. I'm glad he's brought this up. Back when I was a teenager, I made a vital mistake, and there's a lot of kids in here.
What do you mean, vital mistake?
And there's a lot of kids in here that are going to go growing up, and they're going to be adults, and they're going to start going out in town. Wait, but Dad, relax, man. Listen, I want to speak to the kids in the room. I want to speak to the kids in the room.
Why are you getting involved for? Why are you getting involved?
All right, let's take it to the main event. All the action ends Friday night with a clash between two former UFC veterans. The former title challenger, Darren Till, takes on the dentist, Darren Stewart. Gentlemen, how are you? Darren, let's start with you.
This is a madness. I want to address it.
Let the man speak.
Let the man speak.
I'll let you address it. Come on.
Yeah, like
speak about
testing 1 2. Yeah, this is a madness. Taylor, I don't know what I'm involved in. This is crazy. Maybe MMA is different over there. People flying flipping tables and that. It's just crazy. Don't worry like that in our world, man. We flip, the whole place getting shut down. But it's what it is. I'm getting used to this industry. Yeah, looking forward to fighting Till. I said it before. Been on 2 shows when Till's headlined. Much respect. Didn't have to chat to me. I think one of them was in Liverpool, first time I met him. And then another one was in Dallas. And I always want to be the next guy to headline UFC. Obviously, it never happened. But I'm here with Till himself. And it's a big challenge for me because, you know, he's known as one of the best strikers in the world. And people don't know me. They've just seen my MMA career. I've had a few losses here and there. Darren can't strike, this and that. But gyms that know me, around the world, people know me. And I don't do this whole, like, apologies if I don't do this whole flip, frying empty bottles and all that shit. You know what I mean? Like, I just get in there and we do the job. Maybe it's my MMA background. But I'm looking forward to it. Big respect for Till for taking the fight. And like I said, I want to be the next guy headlining, but I'm actually facing Till myself. So I know he's going to bring it. I'm going to bring it. And this is a place to show it. You know, I'm thankful for having me on a show. Like, it ain't got to be too technical. You know, I might go in and start shimmering. You know, I might do some salsa. You know what I'm trying to say? I might start windmilling. I might just throw a punch and do a press. I don't know. I mean, I'm here to entertain, and that's what I do. And I'm sure Till do the same as well. Yeah.
I love it. Darren Till, big KO in your debut. What are you expecting from Darren Stewart in this matchup?
Just before I start, I think a lot of people get confused sometimes with respect and disrespect, and I think everyone waits for me now since the Tommy fight to just go mad, but that's not the case. But I just want to let Ty finish off what he was saying before he got rudely interrupted.
What does he need first? Why does he need to finish off? He's got nothing to finish off.
Thank you, Darren.
He's got nothing to finish off at all. Wait, why you mean shut up? He's got nothing to finish off.
Man.
He's got nothing to finish off. Why has he got to finish
Is anyone going to let me?
You can't explain nothing. Why you need
He's gonna try and talk over me because he's got no decorum. But to the kids in the room,
you're doing what you've done, and
when
you can't explain it.
This is for the kids in the room. I made a mistake when I was a teenager, and I want to teach everybody when you go out in town, things can happen. Everybody, loads of people have fights in town, and you need to know the dangers of it. Bad things can happen, so always go to join a gym. Join a gym, not a gang. So I want kids to know to be join a gym, not a gang. I spend a lot of time doing charity work. I spend a lot of time with kids because I regret my past, but we can all do better for a better future. And people like him are not going to put me down. So kids, join a gym, not a gang. And you don't let people like him will always try and drag you down in life. People can change their life around. They can put good back into the world. People like him don't want to see that. So I just want to say, I love you all. I'll see you on Fight Night.
All right, let's take it to some fan questions really quickly. Who's got one?
I haven't spoke. Ben, I haven't spoke. I'll speak now, yeah.
All right. Let's take it back to Darren Till. Darren, what are you expecting in this main event?
He's just trying to get a fight called off because he knows I'm going to beat him. That's all it is. He's trying his hardest to get the fight cancelled. It's not going to work, bro. You're getting knocked out.
Idris.
Why are you banging the table? Why the table don't hit back?
Stop, Idris.
Get him kicked out, man. He's a dosser.
Idris,
I need you to stop.
Get him going.
I need you to
kick him out.
We need you to let Darren.
Get out of here, man. Get out of here, man.
See you later, mate.
Get him off.
Idris, let's give Darren Till a moment. Idris.
He's using the pain of another family. That says everything about him. He's using the pain of somebody else's family. He's got no decorum and no morals. So don't listen to him. People like him will always try and bring you down in life. He's using someone else's pain for his own benefit. He doesn't care. He's already told me, I'm glad you're back in boxing. I've got the messages. He said, I'm glad you're back in boxing, and everybody deserves a second chance. Now he's trying to use the pain of somebody else. He's got no morals. He doesn't care about anybody
Let's take it back to the main event really quickly, guys.
Get him out of here.
Darren Till.
Yeah, so what am I even talking about?
What are you expecting on Friday night?
Sorry about that. Yeah, Yeah, there's a lot of respect between me and Darren. He's fought on both shows we've both been on when I fought for my UFC world title.
Let Darren talk.
He's a bellend, mate. He's a proper bellend.
Till, like you were saying.
Yeah. So, yeah, we fought on 2 shows together. Darren's a good lad. All my friends who've come with me today know him. He's a solid competitor, as you say. He's not been known as a striker, but I know Darren can fight. I know he's got a big pair of bollocks on him and that. So, to be honest with you, I haven't really got a lot to say. I'm coming Friday.
Aegis Virgo has been kicked out.
All right, guys, let them speak, man.
Sorry, bro. No, it's okay. Yeah.
Welcome to Derby, ladies and gentlemen. You talk.
Darren, I'll let you finish.
Sorry, man.
I'll get me chance.
Guys, please. Thank you.
Yeah. So, yeah, look, I've got nothing to say. Yous all know. Yous have all known me for years now. I am one of the best strikers in the world. And I'm coming for violence on Friday, as always. Second main event. And thank you to Misfits. Thank you to me coaches. Thank you to me family, me girlfriend, me daughters, everyone like that. And Friday, it's going to be a fucking hell of a show.
I love it. We've only got one more order of business. Let's face these guys off. One more round of applause for X Series 21. Back to you, Charlie.
Well, interesting. Interesting is probably one word to describe what just went on here in Derby. I could barely process myself, think we'll go into all of that. Just quickly, this is what is coming up on Dazn.
Hey, listen up. Let's have it. We know you've always got your eye on the prize, the championship belt. And why wouldn't you? You're a finely tuned, well-oiled boxing watching machine, capable of consuming over 185 fights on Dazn every year.
We've gone big, we've gone global.
Chanting through combinations, comebacks, and non-stop knockouts.
Are you going to take?
With big fights every week, you're the best in the world. So go on, get that belt, champ. Dazn, undisputed.
Thought I deserved the decision, but I didn't get it. We move on, and hopefully it happens again.
I can see why people would go with Dave winning it, and I'll have to be prepared for an even better Dave Allen next time.
His ceiling's been shown now.
And Dave Allen here is upsetting the odds.
He's lucky the fight never got stopped. I'm surprised he got the dub.
Most people felt that Dave Allen nicked it by a point, but it's one round away from a different decision.
And what a schedule of fights it is coming up on Dazn. When you've watched Misfits on Friday, sleep and then go again on Dazn, because you have got the rematch that everyone has been calling out for. Johnny Fisher versus Dave Allen 2, live from the Copper Box. Throw it on a week later, Josh Taylor makes his welterweight debut against Echo Esserman up in Scotland, the land of the brave. We've got Matchroom, Queensbury, Misfits all coming up. What a couple of weeks for Dazn Boxing.
Hey everyone, I'm Ariel.
And I'm Ade.
Introducing the Ariel and Ade Boxing Show. All the headlines and hard-hitting debate from the world of boxing.
And we've got special guests every single week.
So if you love boxing, you'll love this program.
Every Tuesday, live on Dazn.
Greatness comes to Dazn this summer. The world's best players will be summoned together to decide the greatest club on earth. FIFA Club World Cup. Watch on Dazn from the 14th of June.
We are back here with Riley, of course, and the man who was in the middle of all of that, Ben, has joined us. Oh my God, I don't know how to process all of that myself. They're still reassembling tables behind us. It all went off. Talk us through it, lads. That was a bit mental.
Yeah, you know, there's some press conferences that go down, and the only thing that you can say at the end of it was, well, that was a Misfits press conference, right? And Aegis Virgo going insane, Chase Demore taking aim at pretty much every single person on that stage. I mean, this was as advertised, I would say.
Riley, I mean, the same as what Ben said. We were stood here looking at each other every 2 seconds. What on earth is going on? That's Misfits, right?
Absolutely. I mean, people were throwing prime bottles left, right, and center. I almost wanted to throw one at Idris Virgo at the end there. However, there was a lot of some dark horse action that I would love to see. I mean, Waleed Sharks versus Fox the G. There's just so much intensity in the conversation there. Some of it looks like a little bit of show every once in a while. There was no show in that conversation. Those two guys look like they're ready to go.
Ben, you elaborate.
Yeah, beyond fired up with Fox the G. I mean, this kid has truly created a special story for himself here on X Series, going from ring announcer to debuting with a massive KO and now a seasoned veteran. I mean, Waleed Sharks dang near started this thing, right? So it's very curious about that one, but the heavyweight survivor tag has my full attention. That is the core of Misfits, the identity, I'd say, of this promotion, and the #1 contender will emerge from that matchup.
It's like you can read my mind. I'm sat here already thinking with my boxing head on how on earth is it going to work. I almost feel like I don't need to know how it's going to work because I know Misfits brings carnage. We've seen a few of the guys before. We know that these guys can bang. Tempo Arts back in the ring. Riley, firstly to you, what can we expect to see in this survivor tag?
Well, the thing is we've made some critical adjustments to how survivor tag applies itself, which is going to make it a much better process, right? Mandatory elimination near the final round. We're going to make sure that we have a good process to see who the winner is. There's not going to be deciding who won the most. We're going to see clearly who wins this survivor tag. Now, there's a couple of guys that, let's be honest, they are the favorites here, right? The former champ should be able to get this done. I thought Big Tobes did phenomenally in his debut. I think he has a great argument to be able to get it done. So those two guys are who I think we should have our eyes on, but strategy is so key here because the two best fighters in it could start off against each other and they could take each other out of the conversation. So it's all about strategy, and that's something we don't often see in the sport of boxing. In this style, of course, strategy is important, but you know what I mean.
I was going to say, Alexander Usyk, that's strategy, my friend. No,
Some might disagree with that, yeah.
Talk us through. You expect the same to see that strategy? Like Riley says, they could have the two best names early doors. It's about doing it methodically, sensibly, and anything to get the victory.
100%. You have to have an outline for this survivor tag, but at the end of the day, it is boxing, so the better boxer should prevail. And how can you look more past than Tempo Arts? He never lost the title inside the ring, but, you know, with all the stipulations and craziness, it'd be a weird world if the debutante Curtis Pritchard walked away with a big W and the #1 contender status.
It's a shame he kept going on about the amount of weeks' notice. We don't care about that, Curtis. We just want to see you in the ring. Don't really matter come Friday night. Now, lads, I believe they're going to face off very shortly after, but we can't not talk about that incredible co-main event. So good. I mean, the press conference there, a little bit too far at times, me personally. I think so. I think Idris, maybe someone tell him, put the fries in the bag. Just allow it for a second, brother. I had to put it in there. I'm sorry. I had to put it in there. But actually, this is a really, really good fight. For people that don't know, Ty Mitchell has been sparring with Tyson Fury for years and years and years. Every pro boxer with a big caliber name will have a lot to say about him. But Idris himself can fight as well. Add that little bit of needle between them. We're going to expect a real firefight come Friday.
This is bad blood all over it, right? And Ty Mitchell, he does deserve this opportunity. He is an incredibly skilled competitor. Taking out Tommy Henshin the way he did said to me that he is ready for a guy like Idris Virgo, who, in my opinion, Idris needs to make a statement. This is the first time in a long time where people are saying, Idris, we want to see you perform. We want to see you take on this challenge. And Idris Virgo, especially after that press conference, going to have to stick the landing.
Well, Riley, I suppose you can add to that as well.
Well, in my opinion here is we talk a lot about his sparring, but sparring is not fighting. You know, we're talking about practice, and this is his opportunity to be able to show us, can he deliver that in the ring against a legitimate opponent? And I think that if you look at even Idris's career, there isn't too many big statements. I mean, Benson Henderson, of course, that's a huge name, but it's a huge name in the sport of UFC. This is the first time for both of these guys where it's a true 50-50 boxing match. Which one of these guys can really deliver the victory?
Well, a fantastic main event here. Darren Till returns again for Misfits. Ben, we were having a little chat earlier. This is a man that if you put a pair of boxing gloves on him, let's have it. Misfits is the one for him. He actually didn't get to do as much talking as we're used to with Darren Till, mitigating circumstances, but we know that this man can fight. We don't even have to do the talking when it comes to Darren. He's fantastic. But we were saying earlier, the dentist, this is a man who can come in and put in a good performance against him.
Darren Stewart is an incredibly gritty competitor, right? And when you think about his extensive background, he dueled off with some very competent strikers inside the UFC. Did he get his hand raised every time? No, but he always came to fight. And that heart, I think, is going to be the biggest weapon inside this matchup against Darren Till, because it is boxing. And there are some tricks and tools that maybe Stewart has picked up. We'll find out. But, I mean, Till is a monster. That guy, demolition machine.
Riley, methods of victory for both fighters in that main event.
when we look at Darren Till, something that people miss about his career is when he was really having his moment in the UFC, he was still very young. He was a very young man. Right now, at 32 years of age, he's really in his prime of the maturity combined with the skill set. And I think that we're seeing that. I think that we're seeing a much more patient and deliberate approach than maybe we saw earlier in his career. And I think that that's what's going to have to happen to get him done, right? He's going to have to show up and apply a deliberate game plan against a very durable opponent. Now, Darren Stewart, on the other hand, I think he really has to get some big moments early. He really has to kind of deliver himself with presence in the ring so that he can apply that throughout the course of the fight, because otherwise we might see another Darren Till versus Anthony Taylor where he's just able to kind of walk through his opponent. But if Darren Stewart's able to establish himself early, it could be a different fight.
We talk about Darren Till being a name for the future on Misfits. The man that he was meant to fight, Tommy Fury, returned to the ring last Friday on Dazn in Budapest. Not quite as exciting as we like necessarily. Not the fireworks. We didn't know too much about his opponent. Do we think Tommy will ever entertain that fight? There was a lot of talk about KSI, Jake and Logan, even McGregor, but actually nothing about Darren Till. Slightly disappointed by that, Ben, or no?
Certainly. I mean, that was slated for January 18th, and I was really interested to see what Tommy Fury would look like against a guy like Darren Till. And you mentioned his fight last week. It was a fight. It happened. But I would love to see Tommy get back in there with some competent opponents. And so while he left Darren Till's name out of the conversation moving forward, I think we can put it right back in, because that's a banger.
Well, that's how you do some filler, lads. We are finally ready for the face-offs here at the press conference. I'm sure we'll be chatting in your ear throughout. We're ready to go here for Misfits 21 press conference face-offs.
As soon as we get his opponent.
His opponent's not
here.
His
opponent's not here. So just give it with you then.
Yeah, go.
So we've got Dylan has left the building. Mams Taylor assuming that role of his opponent. Guys, this kid's incredible. 19-0, many knockouts, WBC silver title, super bantamweight, I believe. Charlie, I mean, this guy is good.
Just trying to listen into the sort of talk between him and Mams here.
They're talking about dinner later, maybe. They're talking about
a lot of millions.
That's it. We know it.
A lot of millions. This man's got a bright future, indeed. We've got a WBC silver champion, and actually I think that's kind of the goal with Misfits moving forward, right? Okay, we've got these fighters who, you've got your Wakey Wines, you've got your Modines, you've got stuff like that, but actually they want to build a pedigree for the future as well, Riley, right?
Yes, and as you can see here, another pedigree building here with Amir the Cashman Anderson. He's facing off against another grizzled veteran. This is a guy that only has 3 professional fights, and we got a little bit more fights in the background. However, let's focus on our fighters, because he is establishing himself quickly against high-level opponents. That's not something you often see.
Amir Anderson debuted against Kajante Davis last year, then took on Niraj in Qatar. Both spectacular performances. I mean, he is a hunter by trade, Charlie.
Always nice when you've got a man who's kind of come in with the bookies outsider, expecting to lose, who would actually talk a little bit. He was saying Viva Mexico at the press conference. He's cheered up ahead of Friday night as well. It's not just a tick-over fight.
He's got to be. He's got to be if he wants to put a dent into Amir Anderson.
According to Chase Damore, he was saying a whole lot of stuff. I mean, I don't know how good Chase's Spanish is.
Unreliable narrator and Chase Damore.
I mean, Chase Damore can do everything, right? He can fight, he can lob tables, he can translate for people at the press conferences. Guys, if it sounds like chaos, it's because it is chaos. We don't know what on earth is going on in the room behind us. But
well, I can tell you Chase is involved. I can actually see him.
He's over there. We're talking about chaos. This one I'm very interested in. He didn't win in the interim lightweight tournament, but Joey Knight has always proven that he is a game competitor. Now opposite 5-time world kickboxing champion Andrew the Punisher Housen. I mean, these are questions that Andy's got to answer right.
And the thing is Housen even made a great observation in his last fight against Lil Cray Cray. I mean, Joey Knight, 1 or 2 more rounds, it could have really gone a different way. He was totally swinging in his direction. These are 2 guys that are very game, they're strong, and they're durable, and I think that we're going to see a lot of power on display. Joey Knight brings it every single time. I can't wait for it.
Joey Knight, to me, absolutely fantastic for Misfits Boxing. You've got this guy who comes in, he looks a slick boxer, and he's been in some real high skill level matchups. Is this Friday a high skill level matchup for him?
I think it is. I think Andy Housen's going to be able to present some interesting challenges, right? That kickboxing pedigree is something to be said. It doesn't translate 1-for-1 to boxing, but we'll see what the Punisher has. I love this matchup.
Well, this one's interesting, isn't it?
How do you do a 4-way face-off?
Well, we'll find out right now. We got Tempo back in the ring, big Tobes. To be honest, I'm surprised that they're not all just going to start scrapping on the stage now the way that everything's been. We're going to see now, maybe they all just stand and take photos, but what a fight we've got here, and like you guys say, adapting the rules a little bit. and making sure that all systems are go, entertainment when it comes to the heavyweight survivor tag.
And it's interesting that fatherhood has shaped this return for Tempo Arts, fighting for much more than himself. And it's challenging at times to remember that he's only 21 years young. We've seen him so often on this platform that he's really grown up here on X Series, Riley.
Yeah, and he mentioned that in the press conference there. He said, you know, I was here when I was 18, and now I'm 21. He said it as if he was old or something. And this guy is clearly just at the beginning of his boxing career. This is a guy that can really make waves here. Like he was saying, though, this is a lot of pressure for him, because if he doesn't get this win, then off goes the Misfits championship that he claims to still be the owner of. So this is a big, big fight for him, because he's got to essentially fight 3 guys at once and win.
And let's be real, heavyweight boxing always exciting, whether that be Misfits, whether that be professional. And that we have here, you've already seen most of them fight before. We know that they will be banging. What a card we've got in store as we go in for the next face-off at one of the most carnage press conferences I've ever been a part of. It looks like they're looking around, they're going, let's get the fighters. Jordan Banjo is in for his fight against former reality star Will Anderson. Guys, what can you tell me about this one? Riley, firstly to you. Jordan can box, I'm hearing.
Well, he was also saying that he has, Will's got spies in the camp. He's saying he's learning all this information. But Jordan was going, I know that you've been getting dropped in camp, so who's got spies? That's my question. Which one of these guys knows more? However, a great background in athleticism for Jordan Banjo as well. I think that is going to translate well. I mean, people always talk about how dancing can translate in the ring. Lomachenko, years of deliberate dancing, that footwork, can it translate? Can it show up? Even Ashley Raxou's had a great transition, so I think he has a clear advantage here, but it's all going to be about who has prepared better and who has learned faster.
Sometimes insider information isn't the best to utilize, right? You don't know if those are true videos that Will's been getting or actual information that Jordan's been receiving, but I defer to the same thought, that dancing is a fantastic foundation for boxing, and Jordan Banjo, I better see him lock it and pop it, move and groove inside the ring on Friday, Charlie.
Well, exciting that you say that. I mean, I'm just listening in here. It looks like they're really going at it between each other, and I like that. I think this is a type of the point. The guys they're doing it. They're ready now. They clearly don't like each other. Will's fuming. The lovely producers have just told me that his brother plays football for Nottingham Forest. There's a lovely bit of information. I don't know whether that will add anything when it comes to maybe a bit of strength and conditioning work when it comes to getting in the ring.
Speed, maybe.
Some speed, maybe. Well, Jordan Banjo, we look forward to his Misfits debut. Dancer, we better have bloody good footwork, like you say. But also his old man was an ex-professional heavyweight. Riley, this one's interesting. Do you know anything about Modine and Wakey Wines?
Well, I called Modine's first fight, and as you can see, they're both bringing the intensity. Modine didn't really have the foundation of boxing there, but he showed up. He was ready to go. Let's see if he has improved, if he's taken the time to get better.
Gotta say, Modine is filling out that jacket.
I was just about to say that.
Some weight into this, Charlie.
Filling out or spilling out, Ben? What are we talking about?
Either way, Modine's coming in here with some real beef against Wakey Wines, who, you know, seems to just kind of be handling all of this with fun, right? A very humorous approach from Wakey Wines so far.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose that's all you've got to do when you've got a character like Modine in front of you. I suppose that's how you take it. Fox the G returns. This is a great fight, boys.
This is the dark horse fight for me. Both of these guys. Neither of these guys know how to take this light.
No, it's going to be heavy hitting, swinging leather right from the get-go. Old guard versus new guard, which is so interesting in a promotion that's only 2.5 years old, right? To have this older veteran in Willie Sharks taking on the rookie of the year. And I think Fox did flinch, I got to say.
I'm a fucking, you funny as hell. Skinny boy, white boy ass. I'm gonna fuck you up. I don't break eye contact. Why you moving sus, bro? You moving sus. I'm not scared of him. Do that fucking like dudes. You're weird as fuck. I'm gonna fuck you up. Woo!
You say watch out, you watch out. Trust me.
Well, there we are. That's a little bit more than they showed us at the press conference when they were talking at one another. Well, Lee Sharks is now taking his top off. I hope he knows it's not the way in now.
Looks like he could hit that scale, though. I mean, man, he is shredded. At times they've been friends, at times they've trained together, but it seems like a sour note has really filled their relationship.
Absolutely, both these guys want it. Look at the intensity on Waleed Sharks. Like I said, these guys don't know how to take this casually. There's no show here. These guys have showed up to fight. This is real beef. And it's going to be really between these two who's going to carry the division into the future.
Especially when you add the fact that these guys are a matter of hours away from weighing in tomorrow. This is where tempers flare. This is where you're not rehydrated. This is where you're ready to go now. These guys almost wish they could lace the gloves now. Well, he's enjoying every second of that as he flexes. To be fair, if I had a body like that, I'd probably do the same, boys. But we're not quite there, which is why we stood up here.
Talking about bodies, here's the big boys, the heavyweight title fight. Tank Tolman, the Viking. Riley, you and I were speaking earlier today about his mixed martial arts experience, and while the tape is over a decade old, he did look like he had some tricks and tools of the trade.
Well, the thing is his only loss on Sherdog, at least, was against Elias Theodoro, who we know had a very long UFC career. He unfortunately has passed away since then. But to lose only against a guy who then went on and had a huge win streak in the UFC, frankly, to me, leaves this era of doubt. What is this guy really made of? Because every other fight, at least listed online, he's won.
Well, we're hearing no Idris Virgo here at the face-off, but Ty Mitchell is coming up. But he might be facing off with his son, we're hearing, which is very nice. A lovely message that he said at the end of that press conference as well. The Derby faithful here for him. He's going to pack out that arena come Friday night.
He's the same height as Idris, so I thought I'd get my son up here.
Ty Mitchell looked fantastic in the debut against Tommy Hench. Riley, I mean, if he lands those same shots, we could see a new champion.
And that's the question, right? Can he deliver that same performance against somebody who is so much more established in their career, who is much younger than his last opponent was, and who, frankly, has a lot more experience than his last opponent? That is the question, and can he answer it?
Well, here we go, the final face-off for the main event here at the press conference here at the Pride Park Stadium in Derby. Misfits Boxing 21, May 16, this Friday. Darren Stewart, the dentist, takes on Darren Till. Guys, I can't wait to see the return of Darren Till back. We were teased with this card, then they pushed it back a few weeks. No more waiting. We are 2 days away. We've spoke so much about it. A nice, cool, composed Darren Till this fight week.
You know, you mentioned it earlier, the era of Darren being the brash, rambunctious youngster, I think is over. I think at this point in his career, he's approaching everything with a sense of calmness and, like you said, composure. And, you know, I think that there is potential for the Gorilla to have a root canal this week, but I think Friday night, Till might have a fantastic evening.
Absolutely. It's a different approach that we've seen in the past. However, in the ring, as we saw, he is still as violent as ever, as atrocious in his just forward aggression as ever, but it's much more clinical, much less emotional. And is he going to be able to deliver that kind of performance against Darren Stewart?
Well, that we'll see. He certainly seemed a little bit baffled by the shenanigans of the press conference, but that is Misfits, as we just keep telling you. We can't wait here. We're wrapped up here at the press conference, boys. I believe we're done. Weigh in tomorrow, X Series 21, Darren Till versus the Dentist. Thank you all for joining us here, and make sure you don't miss the weigh-in tomorrow ahead of a massive night here in Derby on Friday.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you live on the Zone X Series. Let's see some thunder! Here we go. A clean shot, and it could be lights out. Oh, it's the real deal. Hey, he looks like a pro boxer. 1, 2, 3, light him up. Your winner and the new champion.
Fight Night on Dazn, brought to you by That Prize Guy.
The Whopper from Burger King. 100% flame-grilled beef. Now juicier and tastier than ever, with fresh ingredients and even fluffier buns. Same, but hits different. Whopper never tasted so good.
All done, Sue? Yep, and not just with your hair. With the help of Xero accounting software, I've sorted my numbers too. So now I can take my business anywhere.
That's it.
Where to next? Wherever we want.
6-0, what's the next?
Fight Night on Dazn, brought to you by that prize guy.
Dazn.